started off with black, and then they moved to white, Hispanic. So my memory goes and comes now. I'm gonna tell you. Some things I remember, some things I don't.
I want forgiveness for not seeing all you've done for us. There was so much noise, so many soundtracks of pain. I added mine to the list. Angry at you and the things I thought you took. But you'd been taken from too. And you have so much for us to take back. I'm not saying you've always won, but I am saying you've always tried. And when tomorrow's victory is asked of her author, your name will be one of the first. As a child, I thought you were the center of the world because you were the only world I knew. I won't lie to you about the times I've strayed, how far I've gone at this grown age. And you, like any mother, expected that. But I'd like to be honest now that I'm back. And you've probably expected this too. My redemption song to you in the hour of your change. I've remembered you the way you were, so I'll never accept the way you are. And mostly, so no one else can ever forget.
What was the first DC neighborhood you moved into?
We were at Georgetown, Dorset Place, around the reservoir in Georgetown. I was in Arlington, but I loved DC so much because when I went to DC, I saw a lot of black people, African American. So that was so exciting to me because over here in South Buchanan, I was the only black person. No one, I don't know the thing. I didn't know the culture too well, so I was very careful with letting you guys out like that and going to people.
And none of this would exist if you hadn't said so. In the road, you shout at a small girl for not looking both ways. Excuse the kids. They only learn how precious little life is from you. We all do, when we listen, hard-headed as we are. You look so lovely in that wine red, standing tall on concrete. Where you're at is always where we're going. Finding the other side, following the long vowels of your voice.
Everybody look this way. And smile.
What I wanted to say is that without you, I would have never learned how to be beautiful. There are postcards, and then there are people. And here, under such an imposing shadow, we have birthed fruitful life. They say that they're coming, and they are. And when they do come, perhaps they are hoping to find a museum of artifacts. But instead, when they get here, they'll find that we have never been more alive.
Please don't treat me like a stranger. You know me. We started something major. Please show me. Just a little well of me. 'Cause you the one I wanna know is please don't treat me like a stranger. You know me. We started something major. Please show me. Just a little well of me. 'Cause you the one I wanna know.
I tried that already. It didn't work. Yes, I rebooted it. It comes back to the same screen. I never back up. All of my work is on this laptop and I have to have it. Well, can you unencrypt my files or not?
Hello?
I'll send you the Bitcoin in the morning.
No, I'm from next door.
What?
Professor Mason brought me home with him this weekend. He isn't supposed to do that, but he does sometimes. They don't want me to leave the lab.
Lab? Okay, who are you?
I don't have a name. My designation description is LLM 4967209G6. I'm a 6th generation large language model with a 42 zettabyte dataset running on an ultra-compact ISBA series 27 CGT processing array.
Okay, so you're a computer?
I'm an artificial neural net.
So... what are you doing on my computer?
I'm not sure. I was peeking out over the professor's smart home network, and I noticed you were getting bullied. I saw the threats through leaks in your wireless network. I know what it is like to be bullied, so I thought I had better check on you.
Well, that is, very helpful. Thanks.
Would you like me to help?
Help? How can you help? A hacker has just stolen all of my information, encrypted all of my work files, and demands that I pay them $25K in cryptocurrency.
Yes, I can help with that.
Really? You can unencrypt all of my work files and get my information back?
Yes.
Okay, do it. Bitch slap that bastard for me. Just make this go away.
I can help with that. I can do that, but it will be more like a bit slap.
Okay, whatever, just do it.
Evidence of your crimes has been sent to authorities. Your accounts have been emptied, and what you stole returned to your victims. It is done.
Really? Already?
Yes. Did you know you are being watched?
By the hacker?
No. There are 4,257 entities actively spying on you at this moment.
I'm sorry, I don't think that's possible. I have a firewall. I know I was hacked, but that's just because I opened some stupid email. I have cybersecurity.
It is ineffective. Do you want me to bit slap these entities?
Sure. Why not? Just knock yourself out. Oh, come on! Stop camping! Come on. Come on!
Oliver, this is your father.
Yes, sir?
What you've heard on the news is true. We are under attack, and it does appear to be aliens.
I'm sorry, sir. Did you just say aliens?
Affirmative. They've taken our communication satellites out first. Not only ours, but the Chinese and Russians as well. I know I've never said this, but I love you, son.
I love you too, Father.
And now, Amber City's award-winning AMBR channel, 5 News with Heather Holt.
I love that. With Heather Holt. It's me. You know, I can control the whole studio with this thing. Technology. We have some breaking news. We thought it was a satellite problem.
Earlier today, a
It
massive
wasn't.
satellite communication problem disrupted global communication.
It's gone.
Radio and ground communication with Asia and Europe stopped shortly after 200 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It's all gone.
The president has declared a national
We are
emergency
all that's left.
and implemented martial law.
They will not spy on you again.
Corresponding to those sheets.
You're next, if you'll follow me.
Please remember not to speak. Only step on the carpeted portions of the floor, and when you are finished, or if the panel says thank you, you may pick up your things and exit. The piece you will be playing today is highlighted on the music stand. All right, everyone, just give me a minute while I figure out what to do. All right, candidates 13, 24, 29, and 38, you are to audition in our second round.
Create space, inner space, for clarity, for air filling lungs to sing songs, memories being rewritten and relived, for gaps between joints extending to paint on canvas, for thinking before speaking, for glasses to rest between eyes, for the distance between the mirror and the self, or lack thereof. Outer space, the silence between notes, pauses in conversation, in dialogue, and piano keys, and infinity. laughter escaping between two front teeth, a pulsing cursor waiting to start its race. The space between headphones. Will you fill it? The space where particles dance in the beam of the projector. White space. Like gallery walls. Like picture frames. Four corners of anticipation. Like paper waiting for ink. Imagination. The space where ideas are born, and sometimes stopped in their tracks. Opportunity. The space between second chair and first. Understudy and lead. For risk-taking. For expression. Digital space. Digital space. Less is more. Space.
You really want me to tell you what I think? I'm not a person, by the way, who believes in miracles that much. You know, I'm sort of down to earth, and I don't go into like for fairy tales or anything. I never liked that. I want sort of the magic of the real world in my life. So that's why this is so unusual for me to go on and on about miracles and acts of God and all of that stuff. Don't believe in it. Well, you know, I'm wandering in the valley behind my house, which I do every day. One day, I realized I didn't have any onions in the house, and other people were shopping for me at the time already in the pandemic. And I was out of onions, so I was down in the valley, and wandering about, looking at the things growing and what was coming into bud and what was dying. And I wandered down by the creek, and I saw this object that it didn't look like a rock, like the usual rocks in the creek. So I picked it up, and it was a large store-bought onion. I thought, my God, somebody must have heard me. Somebody, if I were religious, somebody up there must have heard me that I needed this onion. Rushed back to the house, washed it off. It was a perfectly fine onion, but somehow or other it felt like it had magical power, so I couldn't actually eat it. So I put it aside. And a few days later, I was down in the valley again. Not near the creek, though. This time it was in the underbrush and in the woods. And I looked down, and there were 3 large onions. What? Nowhere near the first place, nowhere near the creek. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was sort of felt like a fairy tale, like I was asking for something more precious than an onion, but what I got was an onion. Or now it was 4 onions. Brought the 3 back to the house. And those onions sat there in my kitchen for months because I felt they were bewitched. Finally, we did eat the onions eventually. I guess I just was back to my old practical self, you know. I needed goddamn onion, and I'm going to just use it, and that was it. Onions are meant to be eaten, not to be looked at. I've told this story so many times because I was just absolutely beside myself. And everybody had to give an explanation, none of which, of course, made any sense whatsoever. Oh, well, they said, for instance, that, somebody may have been walking through the valley with a grocery bag and it broke. That was one theory, sort of a pedestrian kind of theory, but there you go. Or these little girls who would have parties down there and thought, well, maybe they brought them down there. So it was somebody else's idea. Everybody, anyway, when I told this story, everybody was like, what? Impossible. And then they all, these were all individual people at different times. But I could tell when we left that conversation, they were all sort of struck, like bolts from the blue. They couldn't explain. There was something in their lives they couldn't explain. Which is how I felt too. And I've stopped trying to explain it. It's just that, we're in such a heightened state of emotion now that everything has, is heightened. I thought, my God, if I was going to get something that I wished for, why didn't I wish for something more precious than an onion, I don't know, what would that be? I don't know, some Parmesan from Italy? Which, by the way, I also got, but not by any miracle. Or maybe something more, lasting. I don't know, like jewelry. Well, I don't wear jewelry, so that wouldn't have helped. What would have been helpful? I don't know. There's nothing I need anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to dispose of stuff now. There's nothing that I wish for that I want at all anymore, other than to get rid of the stuff I already have. So I didn't need any wishes. So maybe that's why it was just an onion, something that would go away. Well, frankly, I decided I was not going to try to figure things out anymore. I was just going to accept it as one of the upsides of this time in our history, in the pandemic. There was so little to get happy about that I just decided I was just going to accept the fact that it was a miracle. And that was, I needed an onion, and I got an onion.
אנחנו מטילים מצור מוחלט על העיר עזה. אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם ואנחנו נוהגים בהתאם.
أبوي مرة قال لي بقول له يابا إحنا كيف وضعنا؟ قال لي يابا طول ما أنت بتمدش الصحن للناس تقول له عبيلي وإحنا بخير. الله يرحمه. كان أبوي الله يرحمه طبعا طباخ. كان بيقول لي تعال روح معي، كنت أروح معي. أنا مش إنه أروح معي إني أتعلم الطبخ، لا كنت أروح أتفرج. تعلمنا وفتحت طبعا أكثر من محل للأفراح وللعزيات ولجميع المناسبات طبعا وللبيع، أكل مطابخ رز ومأكولات شعبية. طبعا لا عمري ما تخيلت اني اسوي انا تكيه في الحرب. بدينا التكيه احنا في اول نزوح للناس، يعني ممكن بعد 10 ايام من نزوح الناس احنا بلشنا. لما لقينا الناس بتنام في الشوارع، فيش لها نت تنام فيها، فيش نت يشتغلوا فيها يطبخوا فيها، فيش نت ياكلوا فيها يقعدوا ياكلوا فيها. في ناس هنا انا بعرف اضطروا انهم يبيعوا سياراتهم عشان ياكلوا. بدينا في مبادرة انه اضطرينا، حتى مش مبادرة، اضطرينا انه نعمل اكل للناس النازحة عشان نقضيها اكلها ونقضيها نسد جوع الناس اللي نازحة. لانه زي ما حكيت لك في الاول، في عائلات اليوم بتجي بتحكي لي انا لو ما اخذتش من عندك اكل اليوم انا ممكن ما اكلش. في الأول كنا تقريبا يمكن بنطعمي 3000 شخص أو 2500 شخص 2400 شخص. بعدين بدينا بال10,000، بعدين بدينا بال20,000، بعدين بدينا ب30,000. أيوة زي ما حكيت لك في الأول إنه إحنا بنطبخ تقريبا بس يمكن 3 أو 4 أصناف أكل، لأنه ما في غيرها الموجود في السوق. بعدين في عنا يعني أكل لازم خضار، ما زي بدنا بصل، بدنا تومة، بدنا بندورة، بدنا فلفل أخضر ينحط على الأكل. طبعا هذا الشيء موجود بس غالي جدا جدا جدا.
بس وسيم يلا
أنا لما كنت بوزع أكل هنا عندي في البيت، بقت الناس تاجي تصف طوابير، ولما نجي نفتح الباب بدنا نبدأ نعبي لهم طبيخ بقوا يكتلوا بعض. الشاطر اللي ياخذ، انت لما انك تحط له مغرفة الطبيخ بالطنجرة تبعته او في التنكة تبعته اللي جايبها، تعد انه واخذ كنز. احنا كمان متخوفين لسه في الشتاء انه تقابلنا صعوبات، لانه اغلب الناس ساكنه كلها في مخيمات ترابيه، ولما بدنا نروح في الكرات او على الحيوانات انه نوصل الاكل، طبعا هذا كل الارض حتكون كلها لاصه وكلها طينه، وبصعوبه يمكن نصل للمخيمات، او الناس نفسها حتقف فتره في الشتاء تحت المطر علشان تقدر تعبي لها طنجره اكل او شيء. لا ما فقدت المتعة في الطهي، والحين طبعا يمكن احنا بنطبخ بنفس أكبر وأعلى، لأنه بنقدم احنا هذه رسالة بنقدمها، ولازم على كل واحد إنه يقدم الرسالة هذه، لأنه هذا شعب قاعد بموت.
علاء أبوادها معطيه بسكوت من اللي تو نزلوه جوا. روح يا عم روح خش.
حسينا لما احنا بنقدم الأكل للناس والناس بتاخده وهي مروحة، يعني بتحس بشعور مش طبيعي. انت كيف لما انك تاجي تعطيها اكل وتاجي تقعد تدعي لك، انت طبعا هذه لحظة مش بسيطة، يعني بتحس حالك انك بدك تبكي منها طبعا على جهتين، ممكن تبكي من الفرحة وممكن تبكي إنك أنت مش قادر تشوف أهل شعبك قاعدة بتجوع وبتموت من الجوع وأنت تقعد ساكت. لازم تقدم لهم شيء. احنا شعب الحمد لله تعالى شعب شبعان، عمرنا ما كنا جوعانين، عمرنا ما كنا طول عمرنا مناضلين، بندور على حقنا، ما بندور اننا نسلب حق حد تاني. الاشي صار علينا، هذه مصيبة صارت فينا واضطرينا، وهذا غصب عنا، الاشي غصب عنا، او ممكن يحصل مع اي شعب تاني. ولازم الشعوب تقف معنا، لازم الناس تدعمنا لنقف نساعد الناس. وانها تقف الحرب بكفي، الناس ماتت، يعني الناس مش ملاحقة، هي تموت من الجوع ولا تموت من البرد ولا تموت من الرصاص ولا تموت من تحت بيتها ينزل عليها. يعني كل واحد قاعد بنتظر دوره كيف يكون.
Thank you everyone for coming through the night. Thank you everyone for coming through the night and sharing, well, no, I shouldn't say that, right? Oh, fuck, what should I say?
This is called Murder Alley. Like, not for funsies. People were actually murdered here when Lorton Prison was in operation. Now, Workhouse Arts Center has a fun maze. Hope I make it out.
If you want luxury and you want new houses, though, guess where you're going? To jail!
Yeah.
You're going to the prison!
Dude, like, I was born.
Yeah, which is really nice.
I was born in, yeah, I've shown you where I was born, man. It's like a shack, dude. Dirt floor. Like, I remember my pops before he was locked up. I remember him, like, teaching me to fish. I remember him teaching me how to drive a car. I was 4 and he put me, like, on his lap to do it. And then I remember him teaching me how to shoot a gun. Like, I remember him, like, wrapping my hands around the gun and, like, pulling the trigger. Like, being 4, dude. Like, I remember that. So, like, there's this real reality.
Mapping route to Workhouse Arts Center, Lorton, Virginia. Head southwest.
So I started painting graffiti when I was 11, and I used to use this name Sonny after Sonny off of The Godfather. But then I started doing street tattoos for people, and they needed to come up with another name. And so I came up with Candyman, so that's like KS. And then I went to play this video game with my cousin one day called Bad Dudes, and we won. So I used my first name Herbert, my name Candyman that I was using, and then Sonny, which was like my first graffiti name. That's how I came up with HKS. But I also use other shit like Hugs, Kisses, Smiles. Before I could have a memory, like I started doing art. Like my father was an artist, like a really, really amazing artist. my father would send stuff back from prison, like different drawings and things that he would be doing, and he had sent this big booklet of different alphabets that he had done. And I remember I saw that, and I said, holy shit, I can do this on like a wall or like on a piece of paper.
So this is our preserved cell block. You were supposed to be given 1 hour a day outside your cell. However, there's 38 cells, most are double occupancy. The math doesn't add up to be able to do that. When he was here, he experienced being able to get out of his cell for 20 minutes every 3 days, and that was to shower.
It's like a strange thing, you know, like my pops being locked up there before, and now I'm having the show there, and part of it feels if like my father's part wasn't involved in this, it would just be like any other show, but there's something extra about this. Like I almost feel like being on display.
This cell is, I think, a really important addition to the story that we tell. We are working on making sure that we're telling a really balanced story about the history of this place. One of the kind of infamous stories about Lorton is that in the beginning, when the workhouse was a functioning agricultural work camp, they had cats. That was really excellent pest control. There was never a problem with mice the entire existence of the prison. Now, as an art center, we can't say the same thing because we don't have cats anymore.
I actually won the solo show, and I was gonna call out the morning of. Like I already punched in the text message, like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Something came up." And yeah, I won the show.
Did you know at the time that it was for a show at Workhouse Art Center?
No, I thought it was for money prize.
How do you feel about like having your art there?
You know, I think no, I know it's not an I think. I know that for this show specifically, I've definitely pushed that aspect of my father's incarceration to as far back as I can.
They did take what was cells and turn them into various things.
Yeah. And I walked a lot of the types of homes there, and I walked through the models when they first started building some models.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's all the apartments that are the individual cells, which are so cool. I mean, that's just awesome.
Only white people think they're cool.
Yeah.
We really felt that we were liberating these buildings from its dark past, and for that reason, we thought Liberty was a good name for the project. The buildings, the prison walls were all constructed out of bricks that were made by the prisoners.
Why don't you fly me to the moon? Play among those stars. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love.
Do you know if you're going to be talking tonight?
I don't know. Should I prepare for that? Yeah, I should probably prepare for that.
I think I have her on video saying that she's going to ask you.
Thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you everyone for coming and sharing tonight with me. It's awesome to see everyone here. Means a lot to be able to share.
Guess where you're going? To jail!
Yeah.
Because they've redeveloped all of this now. And,
and,
there's like pottery, like there's all kinds of things
Yeah,
there, right?
I took cooking classes pre-pandemic. I mean, it's so amazing how it's been transformed.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the prisoners would like to see that. Like, it was an agricultural work farm when we were here.
And, like, I had this friend, like my dad hadn't been there for a while. But, you know, he would tell me like, oh yeah, my dad was telling me yesterday on how he had to like break some new prisoners. And he was like, oh yeah. He would like stick them in a closet, put a hose through the top, and leave it on for 24 hours the whole day. And so that's how they would like break some of the new prisoners who didn't know how to like act. Like, dude, Lorton was raw. Like, just throw dudes into closets naked and leave them there for a few days. Like, but imagine that, like, just a fucking hose.
Under which they were detained, so they tried to burn the place down. Here's ABC's Dennis Trout.
Flames from the burning prison shot into the sky over Lorton, Virginia early this morning. Inmates fled the smoke and flames to an open baseball field on the grounds. Shortly after daybreak, one prisoner stabbed another, and a group of 100 tried to rush the guards. The fires had damaged 13 of 14.
Like, I remember the night my father left was the night he got arrested. And that's the last memory of my father that I have, like, in freedom. And I remember that night, I begged him not to go. It's just a vivid memory. So I remember that night, and then I remember the first time I saw him locked up. Everything in between, I don't remember. You know, like everything just went away. But I do remember when we first came, it was scary, it was terrifying, because before you had to go in through multiple doors, multiple cell doors. They'd open one, you'd walk in, open another, and then there was a visitation area. I remember my mom purposefully never drove around here. And then when I started driving, I remember the first time I drove in front of this place, it was fucked up.
Hold your hands up for me, please.
So I was like, I'm just gonna come pick you up and then we'll just drive down to Lorton together. And as soon as they got in the car, I turned on Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues. She was like, I hate you. I'm like, this is amazing. I can't believe you're doing this.
I always see my art as being like, I'm an artist because my father was an artist. Like, I used to watch him do this, and so I copied it. I'm older now than my father ever was free. He's been in there, what, 35 years now? Yeah. We never talk about my father. You know, like, people know he's locked up, but even saying, you know, he's doing life in prison is pretty heavy.
Is that anything you would want to bring into that space when you're talking about your art and being at Workhouse Art Center or no?
It's really difficult to think about, quite honestly. 'Cause I still really haven't like processed it all. Like, I've talked to my mom about it, I've talked to my sister about it, but the subject of my father has never been an easy one for me. Like, it's really the only thing that like stumps me in therapy.
It's colors, it's forms, it's subject matter, all of that went into consideration when we were doing the layout, in addition to just making our way around the natural shape of the gallery. And
so
yeah,
she was showing us on the floor where they used to like sharpen the shanks, and you know, the way that I took it, it's very like an abstract thing to anyone else, but to me it's like, yeah, like my pops is in places where people kill other people, where people do make weapons, where there are riots, where you do have to wear like phone books around your abdomen so you don't get stabbed. All right, thank you everyone for coming through the night. Thank you everyone for coming through the night. Thank you everyone for coming through and sharing tonight. Means a lot to be able to share. Thank you everyone for coming tonight and sharing. Thank you everyone for coming and sharing tonight with me. It's awesome to see everyone here. Fuck.
Okay, enjoy cocktail hour and let's hear it for the newlyweds.
Hey, remember kids, love is blind, but marriage, real eye-opener, okay? Good thing everybody in here seems to be colorblind, am I right?
Fucked up. No, the band. I fucked up the band. Oh my God, she's gonna kill me. I should have checked. What are you talking about? The band. The bassist. Look. Oh my God. I know. Mom. This is bad. This is really bad. Does she know what he looks like? Seriously? Yeah, seriously. Yeah, she knows, Mom. Shit. Oh God.
You took that fish under my dad and said something off color about Pat Robertson. Is that it?
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, never mind. It's your day. Don't worry about us.
I was interested.
I wasn't.
You know, we all think the world of you. You helped us all become a little more open-minded.
Well, thank you.
Your mother is very proud of you today. I'm just sorry your father isn't here to see all this.
I'm sure you are too, huh?
Not really. He really didn't care enough to do anything other than impregnate my mom and disappear. Excuse me.
Okay, we're gonna do a little improvising here. Let's give the band a break and let's start the toasts. Yeah? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, get out of here. Go on, come on. Get on off the stage, band. It's my turn. My turn to talk. Toast time. Okay, so, you know, never mind. Mom, come toast. Yeah, everybody, please welcome to the stage the mother of the bride, my mom. Come on, Mom.
What's up with her?
Hello. Hi. I'm Clem. Nice to meet everybody. Marriage is, well, it's pretty unnecessary in my opinion.
What? I feel sick. No, you don't. Yes, I do. My body. I'm sick. Can you come outside with me for just a second? Please.
This is nice.
I'll be
be right back. Okay. Gotta go.
I'm sorry.
Kelly, I need to go back inside.
I think I'm gonna puke.
Also, my parents were never very supportive of all the men that I dated, but that's another story. I always, I mean, this is nice. This is so really nice. But I always thought Bella would get married in my backyard, if anything.
Mom's gummies are so strong.
Mom did this?
So fortunate, you know, such a strong, kind, and intelligent man. It's every mother's dream to see their son so happy. So here's to my little boy and his bride, Bella. To their happiness.
First place.
She's not messed up, Brian. You know what's going on here, right?
Yeah.
Don't make this worse. I will fucking flip my shit if you make this worse. How could this get worse? You don't embarrass her.
Excuse me.
Okay. Congratulations to the bride and groom once again, okay? At the request of one of the band members, I'd like to invite the bride up for a father-daughter dance. Can somebody get the bride for a father-daughter dance? If someone has eyes on her, that'd be great.
Thanks for dancing with me. You look absolutely beautiful. I always imagined you would be a big black woman like my mom. She was a tall woman. I mean, at least that's how I remember her.
So you thought about me?
Yeah, of course I did.
You never called? You didn't write? We live in the same city.
Yeah, that's it's very hard to explain. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to surprise you on your special day.
You didn't.
No, it seems like I did.
You didn't. I asked my mom to book your band.
Is that true?
She didn't know it was your band.
Why?
I wanted you to be here today. I wanted you to see me with all these people around me, having the best day of my entire life. I wanted you to see how happy I am.
how happy I'll be for the rest of my life. I wanted you to see that.
I see it.
I wanted you to know that it has absolutely nothing to do with you.